this is Gina Duke with Churchtown Ministries, and I want to welcome you to my introductory video for my new blog at ginaduke.com. You are not going to believe this, but I am actually standing inside a women's public restroom at a Walmart Supercenter in White House, Tennessee, because I want to show you something that I think is pretty impressive. What you are looking at is a very well-designed women's restroom stall. I just know there had to be a female engineer on the design team. If you'll notice, it's large enough that you can walk in and actually close the door without having to straddle the toilet. You actually can latch the door as well. And you know, this particular stall would be perfect if the toilet paper dispenser was at the correct height, so that you don't have to stand on your head in order to find the beginning of the toilet paper. Now, why am I showing you this? Well, I'm showing you this because I want to make a point to you. And the point is, there are just some things that men cannot minister to women about because they don't know. They don't know all the crazy, frustrating things that we have to put up with on a day-to-day basis, from the real big, important things to the small, petty things like women's restrooms that we frequent. And so I want you to know that I want to minister to you from a very real and practical place in God's Word. I get you, but more importantly, God gets you. In His Word, in Psalm 147, verse 5, it says that God's understanding has no limit. Now think about that. How many times as women do we tell ourselves, nobody understands me, nobody understands what I'm going through? Well, God understands, and His understanding has no limit. Think about that for a minute, no limit. I know that I've got my limits. As a parent, I've got my limits. As a coworker, I've got my limits. And sometimes even as a wife, I've got my limits. But God's understanding has no limits. And so that's where I want to come to you at, from God's Word in a very practical way. So I hope you tune in frequently to ginaduke.com.